Getting into our second game now. I think I'm on +2. How was I on +2? Intriguing. Whatever. So, spawning in the top of Heavy Rain in blue, playing for CTsix. His team is down 1-0. Gonna try to even up this series. It's ElvinAshwin. And his opponent spawning in the bottom. Playing for Outset. In red, playing Zerg as well. It's SAWgunnertwo. So, ZVZ is always a disaster in my mind. That's about all there is to it. And, okay, now I'm on minus, or normal speed or something. Good lord. I think I'm on the right speed now. Yeah, I am. Good. Anyway, ZVZ can always be a kind of a disaster. In my eyes, it's kind of turned into a lot of the PvP sort of mindset where instead of just taking your natural can be death, it's taking your third base can be death. If you don't take your third base safely enough, your opponent can just snipe it off and then end up taking his own third behind it and beating you. And there's nothing much you can really do about it. Simply because that's how things go. In this matchup at least. But thus far, neither player has opted to go for any super early pools. This is a pretty small map. So that could have worked pretty well. And ElvinAshwin is actually getting here with a quick scout and is making sure that that is true. So he's going to feel nice and safe here. No pull down either for either player. Looks like both of them may actually expand quickly. It's still a possibility. I'm not sure what happened with Ashwin. He's pretty far behind on his minerals here. I know the one drone did scout, but still, I feel like he may have stopped some of his workers on accident at some point. He is going pool first compared to his opponent SAWgunnertwo going for this hatch first. So he's going to have an option to harass a little bit earlier and kind of throw a wrench into the play of SAWgunner. SAWgunner's drone is good. That's probably why he seemed to be lagging. So I'm going to try to, he actually may be able to deny this natural for a little bit. No, he's just going to run away into the natural, or into the main. So this hatch will get down, and SAWgunner's going to get in here and see that the pool is just about finished. But he's probably not going to be worried too much about that. He does have a gas on the way. His pool was like pretty far behind. This is really, really scary to do in ZVZ, having this later pool, even with having the gas for before the pool. It can be very, very dangerous against anything early. It's gonna be so long until you have your own queens out, and this production is gonna be started a lot quicker for Elvin. His first queen is gonna be about halfway done by the time this pool does finish, so he'll have a nice little advantage there. But his speed is actually gonna be a lot behind. He hasn't started gas yet, so yeah. Either way, both players kind of can be aggressive if they decided to, but Gunner is actually going to be able to get two queens out at the same time, so that's the benefit of him going a hatch first here, and the pool timing finishing up just about the same time as this hatchery, and both these queens starting at the same time. Very nice for him there. He does have the gas for speed if he wants it, but he's continuing to mine gas at the moment, so rather than pulling out at all. And still no gas for Ashwin, which in its own right can be very, very scary. He's choosing to focus only on drones here. Getting his second and third queens on the way. So he's going to be able to start kind of creep spreading and having that third queen for protection. And speed is already on the way for Gunner. So 23 to 20 drones, just slightly in the favor of Gunner. He did have this earlier hatchery, so no surprise there. But eventually I think Elvin will catch up with that. He does have the quicker inject, and he's actually using this queen to spread some creep, just connecting his bases, making sure he's able to get in between bases pretty easily. Bailey Nest already on the way for Gunner too, and this is pretty early, and he never did pull out a gas here, so he's going to be able to throw on some aggression very quickly, but he has a chance of getting some Overlord snipe. There is one that's sitting over here, and this one could really be sniped. There are two queens available to be in this area, but doesn't look like he really cares, so oh well in that regard. 8 lings in production for Gunner, so it looks like he's definitely going to be wanting to be aggressive here. This Big Nest is going to finish, and Speed's going to finish, and he's going to have 10 lings out. At the same time, Elvin is setting up very, very nice. He's got the Spine Crawler and these 2 Evil Chambers. He's going to be able to just wall off with queens, basically. I'm not sure what all he's seen just yet. He hasn't really seen anything, so he doesn't know, but eventually this Overlord is going to spot all these Lings moving across the map, and a ton of Lings. Yeah, this is definitely going to be some sort of all-in, and a Roach Warren actually on the way for Elvin as already. So he's not even bothering with Banelings. He's going to be focusing, or hoping that he's going to be able to survive slowly with his queens, and really that's it. He's got a lot of queens, or not a lot of queens, he's got 3 queens, but they are walling up here, so he does have this nice wall. Actually, I'm pretty sure that the Zerglings can get in here. I'm not really sure. He does see all these here, and Ling's gonna try to get in there, but they can't get through these 2 queens, and there's only the 1 transfuse. Actually, 1 transfuse goes down, but 1 queen is already dead, and that's a lot of Lings. That's a lot of Lings coming in here for Gunner. And really, there's nothing to push us away. There's 22 Lings on the way for Elvin, but he doesn't even have speed. It's going to be slow Lings fighting against speed Lings, and the possibility of Banelings even, but Gunner doesn't really need to go for Banelings. He's already taken out a ton of workers here. First Lings are out, but again, what are those Lings going to do? They're going to just start dying. Kind of the best position possible for Elvin, at least. There's actually a lot of Lings back home still for Gunner, which doesn't really need to be the case. He can bring those back up. There he is. He's going to start bringing those up now. There are 6 roaches on the way for Elvin, but 36 to 20 workers now. Roach Warren is about to go down. So once these original 6 roaches, 10 roaches actually come out, he's going to be in a bit of trouble here. Pool is actually being focused on as well, but again, there are the roaches out now, so he's able to push this away, but at the cost of a lot of his economy right now. That kind of really is all that there is to it. I mean, both players are even on gas, and actually more Lings will be trying to pop in and do some work here. But yeah, roaches do pretty okay against just Lings. And it looks like Elvin he's stabilized at the moment. But his opponent is pretty far ahead. 39 workers to 20 at the moment. He doesn't have the option of roaches for a little while, but once he does, he's going to make a ton of them. And unless Elvin really decides to attack right now, he's going to be in a bit of hurt. Gunner he looks like he's going to continue throwing away units though. So this could work out still for Elvin. He hasn't completely lost this game yet. He did lose quite a few queens. I think he lost 3 or 4 queens here. He's lost 4 queens so far, but 46 Lings died for Gunner. I mean, if some of those were Banelings, every single drone would be dead right now for Elvin, which would have been a lot better of a situation. And these roaches are going to start moving across the map. +1/+1 is about halfway finished for him. And a 3rd hatchery is going to be trying to go again for Gunner. But again, with this amount of a force, there are 5 roaches on the way for Gunner. Yeah, he's gonna have the upgrade lead too, so he should be okay. But I don't think this 3rd base is gonna last too long. If Elvin decides he wants to kill it, yes, he's gonna make sure that's there, and I think he's gonna try to take that out. But the longer he waits, the more roaches are gonna be out for Gunner. Actually, he's not even attacking it. He's just sitting there, and there's a nice Ling counter set up here. Our queens and the spike colors sitting here to fend this off. Actually, there is the cancel, so 3rd base isn't going to come up. But there's not many roaches. There's not a lot of roaches right now, and if 1-1 gets sniped off, this would be a really nice win for Elvin. But Ling's coming from the back, going to surround this army, and Elvin's going to GG there. So, well, eventually, going to GG there. There he goes. Alright, so Outset gonna go up 2-0 here on the backs of their lower league players.